In 1982, Hollywood released two Alien movies. One became the highest-grossing film of all time, earning over $350 million and winning 4 Oscars. The other barely made $19 million, was trashed by critics, and nearly ruined its director's career. But here's the twist. Today, that failure is hailed as one of the greatest sci-fi horror films ever made. This is the story of E.T. the Extraterrestrial versus The Thing. And it's proof that in Hollywood, and in life, timing and cultural awareness mean everything. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I bring you deep dive stories from film, history, and culture, and you won't want to miss the next one.
In hindsight, it's a story so simple a child could have come up with it.
Alright, let's begin. Steven Spielberg's E.T. dominated 1982. It grossed over $350 million, becoming the highest-grossing film of its time. Audiences adored it. Critics adored it. It won 4 Academy Awards. I remember seeing it in theaters. People were crying when E.T. was operated on. Spielberg had cemented his reputation as a master of emotional blockbusters. E.T. was about empathy, childhood wonder, and connection. A glowing finger that healed. Reese's Pieces as a symbol of trust. A lonely boy finding friendship in a fragile alien. The message? Even in abandonment, someone will always say, "I'll be right here." Then came The Thing. John Carpenter's sci-fi horror about an alien parasite that shapeshifts into its victims. It made just $19.6 million against a $15 million budget. Critics hated it. The New York Times called it foolish, depressing, overproduced. Roger Ebert dismissed it as a gross-out movie. But today, The Thing is considered a masterpiece. Why? Let's dig deeper. The Thing wasn't new. It was based on the 1938 novella Who Goes There? By John W. Campbell. The 1951 adaptation, The Thing from Another World, starred James Arness, who later became the legendary Marshall Dillon on Gunsmoke. A young Kurt Russell even guested on Gunsmoke, years before taking the lead in The Thing. Funny enough, Russell almost didn't get the role. Jeff Bridges and Sam Shepard were also considered, but his calm, sombrero-wearing helicopter pilot became iconic. And the effects? Revolutionary. Rob Bottin's practical effects pushed the limits of horror, tentacled monstrosities, grotesque transformations, and the unforgettable blood test scene. At their core, E.T. and The Thing asked 2 very different questions. E.T. asked, what if an alien came here to study plants and found friendship? The Thing asked, what if an alien came here to feed off humanity and replace everyone? One film gave us hope. The other gave us paranoia. And timing made all the difference. In 1982, America was desperate for optimism. The country was recovering from Vietnam, Watergate, inflation, and recession. Ronald Reagan brought humor, optimism, and a message of resilience. So E.T. was perfect. A story of children outsmarting government agents. A gentle alien escaping to freedom. A promise that even abandonment could be healed. It was warm, emotional, and exactly what audiences needed. But The Thing? It was cold, bleak, and nihilistic. No reassurance. No happy ending. Just mistrust, paranoia, and a question. Who can you believe? Audiences weren't ready, and the timing got worse. The Thing was released just 1 week after E.T. direct competition. And if that wasn't enough, 1982 also gave us Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, Blade Runner, Poltergeist. Sci-fi fans were spoiled, and Carpenter admitted later, I thought a nasty alien movie would balance out E.T. I was wrong. So how did The Thing transform from flop to classic? The answer, home video. In the mid-80s, VHS and cable allowed audiences to rediscover the film. Without the shadow of E.T., viewers could appreciate Bottin's groundbreaking effects, Carpenter's tension, and the genius of its ambiguous ending. By the 1990s, scholars praised it as a masterclass in paranoia and atmosphere. Its influence spread into the cyberpunk era, horror culture, and even gaming. Meanwhile, E.T. remained beloved, a timeless symbol of empathy and childhood wonder. So what do these two films teach us? That sometimes the most innovative art is rejected at first. Not because it's bad, but because it's too far ahead of its time. E.T. was the film audiences wanted. The Thing was the film they weren't ready for. But both have earned their place in history, because art, like aliens, doesn't always arrive when we expect it. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dive film stories, and drop a comment. Which do you prefer, E.T. or The Thing? Thanks for watching.